So the subject which we are starting is subject number 3, which comes under book number 3. So the study material for book number 3 is already updated in your app. You can look into that book and study later on for your self-study. But again, let me also tell you, study material is important, but your running notes is equally important. When you attend the live class, try to maintain a proper running notes. I will give you the definitions. I'll explain you something. Try to maintain the notes for it. We'll also try to upload these presentations so that you can, if you have some images, you can have them for your reference later on as well. So we are starting with subject number 3, that is building anatomy and architectural vocabulary. Building anatomy and architectural vocabulary. What is this subject of building anatomy and architectural vocabulary? Building anatomy talks about the anatomy is basically the detail of the parts. Within a building, you'll be having multiple parts, different types of parts. Like when you study about human anatomy, you'll be having internal organs, external organs. You will be having sense organs as well, 5 sense organs. Internal organs are like stomach, heart, right? That is anatomy, understanding various parts of human body. Similarly, as you are aiming to be architects in your future study, and you're attempting for these competitive exams in architecture, it is expected that you have a basic idea on the building anatomy. Obviously, we'll not do it in much detail as how to calculate the size of the column required, because that is something which you'll do in your architecture college. Here, in the entry level, we are expected to know about the anatomy of the building, various parts of the building. What is a column? What is a beam? What is a slab? What is the roof? What are different types of roofs available? So that is something which we are focusing on. So building anatomy talks about the parts, various parts of the building, building materials. What are the various building materials? Brief on that. What are the various construction techniques involved in building construction. So we'll look into the basics of the building parts and also architectural vocabulary. There are some terms. For example, acoustics is a term. Acoustics is a term which is used in architecture. You have to know what is the meaning of it. Or you have, for instance, you have a word arch. Arch is a term which we use in architecture very frequently. You need to know what is it. So there are some terms which are used specifically in architecture from building point of view. So this subject focuses on understanding the basics within architecture and construction. So within this subject, there are 3 topics which we cover. First topic is architectural terminology. Architectural terminology. That is the first topic. The second topic of this subject is building materials and construction. Building materials and construction. These are the 2 topics under the subject of building anatomy and architectural vocabulary. This class, today's class, today and also tomorrow, in fact. So let me tell you a brief on the schedule which we'll be sticking to for this subject of building anatomy and architectural vocabulary. This class of architectural terminology will be for 2 classes. 2 classes. That is today, Saturday, that is 24th and 25th. 24th and 25th of July. That will be the schedule, tentative schedule for architectural terminology. So in these 2 classes, we will be covering the concepts related to architectural terminology, and also we will do some practice questions. So it is a practice session also. Within these 2 classes, you, for the last half an hour in both the classes, today and also tomorrow, last half an hour or so, half an hour to 45 minutes, we will spend on practicing what we have learned. So that would be the practice part. So these 2 classes will be for architectural terminology and also practice of that particular topic. Next Saturday and Sunday, we will be doing this topic of building materials and construction. Questions asked in NATA and JEE range from showing a picture and asking you the material. They may show you a picture and ask you what building material is it, what type of brick is it, or what type of stone is it. You may get questions on the texture of building materials. What is the texture of, for example, red sandstone? What would be the texture of it? So you get questions related to the textures of building materials also in the exams. So we'll cover all those details under building materials and construction. So these are the two topics. Topic number one, topic number two under the subject of building anatomy and architecture vocabulary. All the relevant study notes has been updated on the app. You can refer to the study notes over there. So without any further delay, let me start with today's class, that is architectural terminology. So as I told you, we'll be doing this in two classes, today and tomorrow. And the tentative schedule would be from 3:30 to, sorry, from 3 o'clock to 5:30 or 6. So it would be a 2.5 hour to 3 hour class. Depending on the pace at which we are going, it can, if we are doing it at a faster pace, if you don't have any doubts and we are easily moving forward, probably we may end the class in 2.5 hours. Otherwise, we may take it to 3 hours also. So that is the idea. If it will be a 3 hour class, I will be giving you a 5 minute or 10 minute break midway after around 1.5 hour or so. So 5 minute break and then we'll continue the class. So that is a brief on the schedule ahead. So let me start with this subject of architectural terminology. Firstly, we will be looking into some terms which are very frequently used in architecture. So even now you're attending your NATA and JEE exam this year. Probably you will be getting into architecture colleges next year. So right away from the time when you get into an architecture college, when you start pursuing your B.Arch in the first year, starting from first year, till the end, till the complete end of your fifth year, there are some terms which you will use or on a continual basis. Those are what you essentially prepare when you go into an architecture college. You need to prepare when you. So, for example, what is architecture? It basically focuses on design of spaces or buildings. So when you design a building or when you design a space, how to show your design to a client, or how to show the, you prepare a design, you design a building. Now how to display or how to present your building. You present your building using drawings, right? What type of drawings do you show? You cannot directly construct and show your client, ये लो आपका building बन गया. ऐसा नहीं होता, right? You need to first make a design and you need to present it to your client. You need to show a design. This is what the room looks like, or this is what the exterior looks like in the building. So you need to show them multiple drawings. So the drawings which we present to a client to express or to design, to explain a design, those drawings will be mainly of three types, three levels. Let us try to understand what are they. So we start, so let me briefly tell you. You present plans, you present elevations, and you present sections. These are the basic things which every design presentation will require. So in any design presentation, you need to submit plans, elevations, and sections. Other than that, you also can show views. Views are something which are computer rendered nowadays. You have multiple softwares where you can render them on the computer and you can get high quality views. You can see the view, the image, and feel as if it's a real image, real picture. So there are high-end rendering softwares available at this point of time where you can visualize the building. You can see the photos of a building even before it is constructed, right? So plan, section, elevation, and views, these are the basic terms which any person who is involved in the field of architecture needs to have an idea about. So again, this topic of architectural terminology involves a various list of terms. So when we discuss a term, write down the term and the definition. I'll write down all the definitions in very simple words, 1 or 2 lines on the screen, on the board itself. Make a note of those into your notes. It is very important that you maintain a running notes for your revision later on. Anyways, so let me first tell you about these architectural drawings. So in the introduction, we are looking into how to present an architectural drawing. So the architectural drawing include, as I told you, plan, sections, and elevations. So the number one would be plan. Plan essentially of any object. Plan not only for buildings. You also need to draw plan of objects under the subject of visualization. Under the subject of visualization, you will be asked to draw the plan of objects. In JEE and also in NATA, you get those questions. So what is plan? Plan essentially is, can anyone tell me? I'll give you options. Do you know what is plan? Is it top view or is it front view or is it side view? What is plan of an object? Any idea?
Sir, top view.
Top.
Absolutely correct. Top view of an object is called as a plan. So even for buildings, now you can see in this picture, this is a complete site. You have some buildings design and the top view of it is shown. So plan essentially is top view of objects or buildings. Top view of objects or buildings is called as plan. So building plan essentially is the top view. Now coming to plan itself, there are two types of plan which you generally draw for explanation or for presentation of architectural drawings, and that is site plan and floor plan. So plan is top view. The plan is again subdivided into two types. You have site plan and floor plan. Site plan essentially is the plan of the complete site. So this essentially is the plan, the top view of the complete site. The complete site or plot. Say for example, this is an academic building which you see in this picture. Now with this academic building is constructed on a rectangular plot or rectangular site. So you see all the buildings at a time. All the buildings shown on the site. How will be the gardens surrounding the building? How would be the entry points into the site? All these details can be seen on a site plan. Now, site plan is a very large scale. You don't see all the detailing, as in you cannot see the furniture layout and all in this. On site plan, you just see where are the building blocks, how is the garden, what are the access pathways. So, what are the components you show in a site plan? You basically show only the buildings, building outline. You cannot show what is inside the building. You cannot show the rooms and all. You cannot see within this building how many rooms do you have. Obviously, you cannot show that on the site. On the site plan, you show the buildings, you show the access pathways, and you show the entry points, entry and exit points. So these are the major components, and also obviously the landscaping. Landscaping is the surrounding trees and gardens. The surrounding gardens is called as landscaping. These are the points which you can show on a site plan, in a site plan. Now, coming to the second type of plan, that is floor plan. Floor plan is essentially the top view of the individual rooms or individual buildings. So floor plan talks about the interior layout. This shows the interior layout of a building. Interior layout of, when I say interior layout of a building, you need to show the rooms. Like you can see in this picture, this is a floor plan. So when you present a design, you first will show the site plan to the client. This is how the buildings will look like. This will be the access pathway and the gardens. Then you show the plan of each building. Then you show the floor plan of each and every building. Within this building, what will be the rooms? How will be the furniture layout of it? You can see in this picture, this is an example floor plan of an apartment where you see you have a living drawing room, you have a bedroom here, you have a second bedroom over here, you have a bathroom, kitchen. So, and you can also see the layout, how will be the bed be placed, how will be the sofa be placed. So you see the layout of the furniture. So within a floor plan, you show details like furniture layout. You also show the rooms. So that becomes the floor plan. So plan essentially is top view. Site plan is the complete site view. Second is floor plan, which talks about the interior design of each and every room or building. So that is about plan. I told you there are three levels of drawings: plan, elevation, and section. So second one is elevation. So let us try to understand what is elevation. Elevation essentially is the side view or the front view of an object. Say for example, you have a building, something like this, a simple skyscraper. This would be the front elevation, and this would be the side elevation. Elevation essentially talks about the front, back, or side views. Elevation talks about front, rear, matlab back, front, back, and side views. Top view is called as plan. Front, rear, or side view is called as elevation. Now, within elevation, again, you have two types. You can show exterior elevation, exterior